Good afternoon. We're here to do a salmon tank setup for the salmonids in the classroom. We have in front of us a sterilized tank. All the components have been sterilized within the tank. So we're going to take it to the next level and do a setup with the gravel system. So our first step is to take your under gravel filter, submerge that in the water. Once it's in the water, give it a good shake. You'll notice that there's some air bubbles in there. You need to get those air bubbles out. Take it and push it all the way down to the bottom. Try and make sure that there's a little gap along the edge. You will be filling that with some of the gravel that you're using later. Second step is to take your pump. I have a little plastic piece that's been submerged in hot water, so it's quite flexible. I'm going to take that and attempt to push it right onto my pump. Takes a little bit of effort. There we go, it snaps right on. The other part will fit right over the down tube inside of your tank and create a nice snug fit. Clip it over the back of your tank. Now your pump system is all set up and ready to go. Our next step is going to be to put the gravel into your tank. With your pail of gravel that has been sterilized from last year, we're trying to reuse them. We're going to pour it into the tank. Going to create a lot of sediment in the tank. That's okay. The important part is we're going to be highest at the end where there's the pump, and we're going to be lowest the further away from the pump we go. So we want to have more of an angled gravel. And you'll notice the gravel is pretty uneven in there, and some of the spots you can still see the under gravel filter. So we put our arm in, just brushing the gravel, push it down along the edges, push it into the back corners. Try not to have your chiller tube submerged underneath the gravel. And with our final step of the tank setup, we're going to take our suction cup thermostat tube and suction cup that just onto the side of the tank, making sure that the black part at the very top is not submerged under the water. We're all in this stage of tank setup. Welcome back to part 2 of our salmon fish tank hookup for the gravel system. So you're going to notice that the pump, everything's working well, it's pushing water out there. The only problem is it's not taking in any oxygen or air into the system. So we need to make sure that we have our air intake hose connected into the pump. If you just look over the top, look down at your pump, you're going to notice there's a little hole there. When you set this in there, you're going to notice that it's pulling oxygen or air into the system. Push it all the way in and take your hose and gently hook it around the back. The last part of our setup will be to put our styrofoam, our insulation around the outside of our tank. So with the styrofoam at the front, we have our styrofoam at the back, and we just get some type of a bungee cord system and wrap that around. keeps it nice and tight. If your styrofoam is not nice and tight onto your fish tank, it will create a lot of condensation and run down, and cooling will take place on your floor. You can gradually add on the end pieces. And finally, we can add on our top piece. And there you have it. Our fish tank is ready to go. In about 10 days, we will be ready to get 100 fertilized salmon eggs.